Hey, what's going on, everybody? Snake is back with another video. How have you all been? Um, I have been working. I got another job working at retail, so it's been going well. I just wanted to kind of do a little bit of a snake talk today, and I wanted to do it on some of the manga I've been reading from Jump, because that's kind of what's been on my mind at this like current moment. So all right. Anyways, thank you for coming in. My name is Hunter Snake. La la la. And we're gonna begin. So I've been reading a lot of Shonen Jump recently, and there's a shit ton of series I need to catch up on. Like I've been reading a lot of Sn8ke, fucking Dan Dan Dan, and a bunch of other series that aren't part of the like Jump app where like I read my manga, so I've just been kind of behind on those series right now. But so I decided to pick up Seraph of the End again. So if you haven't watched or read Seraph of the End, I watched it like back when I was in like middle school. Like maybe definitely either early elementary or middle. One of the somewhere around there I watched Seraph of the End, and I always wanted more. I was always like, when is season 2 gonna come out? And then we never saw a season 2. Like it just disappeared from like history. Just gone. Zip, zero, dead. And so I was like, okay, I've been putting it off for a while because I keep seeing it in the app, and I'm like, okay, I need to read it. I need to read it one day. And then I saw it again. I'm like, okay, let's give it a shot. So I gave Seraph of the End a shot, and holy shit, nights I've stayed up till like 5 in the morning reading chapters, because since they're monthly drops, it usually releases with about like 40 to 50 chapters, like pages a chapter. Sorry. And it just like you can spend a lot of time reading it, and it's really detailed. You could definitely tell that this series is a lot more than what you are like currently reading. There's so much more to it. And I'm almost caught up. I'm about like probably like 15-20 chapters away from being caught up with the manga, because I also didn't know that it was still like running concurrently. And so I finally am about to catch up, and holy shit, this series is insanely good. Like I have been sleeping on Seraph of the End for way too long. If you have the app, I definitely give it a recommend. It's definitely has its edge, but it's not as edgy as a lot of other series. Like the edgy is on the lower end. The fan service is definitely on the lower end. Of course, there's always going to be usually something somewhere, 1 page, 2 pages, but I personally, when I was reading through, I didn't see a lot of fan service, and so I think it's just a really good action like vampire manga. And once you catch up, it's just like just seeing all the stories and how each of the characters progress, and like how the main cast progresses. Oh, it's just so good. And then you don't really care about the main character for like, you love him, and then you stop caring about him as much, and are like, these side characters are way more cooler. And then it comes back and he's like, oh wait, the main character is really cool. And like the main villain makes so much sense. It's like he can't even be the villain. You don't even know who the villain is when you're reading through this manga. You're like, okay, who is the villain? The main character, the other human main character, that's like the big one, the human organization, the vampires, some of the vampire subgroups, some of the other vampire subgroups, the main subgroup like that started it all, or God. Like you don't know who the villain is. There's so many like groups vying for their own like goals that you just have zero clue what the hell is going on, but you do at the same time, and that's what's really cool about it. Like you have to give it a read to understand what I mean by that. But that's enough for Seraph. If you haven't read it, give it a shot. If you like anime boys and vampires, it's really good. Jujutsu Kaisen is another one I finally caught up on. I've been catching up on Jujutsu Kaisen for about 3-4 years now, somewhere around there, give or take. I don't really fucking know. I don't remember, but I finally caught up on Jujutsu Kaisen. I read it now, chapter to chapter, whenever it comes out, like every 2-3 weeks, I think. Yeah, fucking bangers. I don't think I really need to explain Jujutsu Kaisen. I won't be getting too much into spoilers for JJK because I know that how far the anime is behind, but I caught up on the manga and it is super, super good. But it's hard to talk about it without spoiling anything. But the characters only get better is all I'll say. The characters just continuously get better. And there's some characters that I'm still kind of hurting over. Anyways, let's get off that, because I know Jujutsu Kaisen is a touchy subject for a lot of people. Let's head over to a kind of a niche anime. Let's talk about One Piece. One Piece. One Piece is I'm caught up reading weekly. Fucking Kuma's backstory is where we're at right now, and Kuma's backstory has opened up so much of the world. If you don't want any spoiling of the recent chapter, just skip ahead a little bit. This is about when Kuma is like about to turn into like full robo. Basically in the manga right now, we found out that Dragon was watching Luffy on the island before he ever took off as a pirate. That shit blew my mind when I saw that. I'm like, okay, duh, because then Logtown, that makes sense. But like at the same time, he had a bounty, so maybe Dragon saw that and wanted to go see. But no, Dragon's always been there. I wonder how long he's always been there for. I really wonder how many scenarios has Dragon just been watching and just letting his son have fun, and like, because it could be just the starter village and Logtown, but I really doubt that. I really doubt that, because like he would have to go to the Grand Line, because Dragon, that's where everything's happening. Did he follow his son, or did he go from Logtown all the way to like the New World? Like that, I'm just so curious. I'm so curious about Dragon, and it's just opening so much of Dragon. We've never seen this much Dragon, and I am loving it. I am absolutely loving it, and I can't wait till we get to see finally more Shanks. It's been forever. I want to see what happened to Law, of course, but I also do want the climax of fucking Luffy's arc to finally end. We've been in this like Egghead Island arc for like so goddamn long. We've been getting backstory of every tree branch, and I don't mind. I love it. But first we had them getting there and trying to figure out what is happening, and then we get hit with the Garp and Pirate Island. We're like, okay, finally we're back to Luffy. And then we get a bunch of stuff is going crazy. We get to see Emerald fucking Lightning Boy fighting Luffy, and that was awesome. And it was kind of like a tie. It wasn't like a, oh yeah, this guy won. It was yeah, Luffy didn't massacre him like we all want, but at the same time we don't completely want that, because then it would just be boring if Luffy could just one shot everything. And also, but then we're thrown into Kuma's backstory, like, as we didn't get it when Bonnie was in the bubble, so Bonnie already knows all this stuff. We are finally getting the backstory, like, as like the final boss is fighting, in the middle of the final fight between the final boss. So then we're finally getting what Bonnie knows. Like, Bonnie already knows everything before this fight even started, so now we're gonna understand what is going through Bonnie's mind while this is all happening. God, I fucking love One Piece. Anyways, And let's get off of a One Piece and head over to One Punch Man. One Punch Man is yeah. I know that the webcomic uploads faster than the manga, but I read the manga because have you seen the art for the webcomic? No diss. I just like the manga is just so cool that I don't want to read ahead because I could read ahead and catch up on the webcomic. But I'm like, I'm just gonna wait on the manga, which you never hear from a manga reader. Is always like, yeah, I got bored waiting on the anime, so I just read the manga. But at least the manga is actively always going, not anime where you have to like wait like a year or two for like an announcement for a new anime for a lot of these damn series. But God, One Punch Man, I feel like is nearing its end, sadly enough. But it's really good. It's really good. It's just taking its time, kind of like having its fun with these characters, these really cool characters, giving backstory to like, even though like Saitama just one shots everything, and we just want to see him fighting God or whatever the alien thing is, and we're basically just like seeing all the side stories of all the characters, like progression and growth, which I don't mind. I like it's enjoyable, but we know that like their stories aren't part of the main story unless like fucking Sonic O Ninja and Lightning Flash Boy are like become Saitama level. Like it's just kind of for fun, and and that's why I love One Piece or One Punch Man. Hey, they're both one, okay? They're not the one. All right. And then finally, to end off this Snake Talks, I want to talk about an manga that ended recently that got another season, an anime, and Dr. Stone. I absolutely love Dr. Stone. I read all of it. I finished stuff, caught up. I watched all the anime, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna catch up on the manga now. And I took a lot of breaks. I would catch up, and then I would take like a year or two break, and then I'd forget where I was, and then I'd have to reread so much stuff. Basically, Dr. Stone confuses me. I want to love it more than anything. I want to say it's one of my tops, but sadly the ending just doesn't make me feel that it's a top, and that's really sad. It's really sad because yeah, the Y Man is cool and all that stuff is really cool, and it does make sense when you like look back through the series and like see like everything that was leading up to it, but it's not it's just a sentient alien. Like this series grounds itself in reality, or well, reality, but it pulls a lot on science, and it doesn't even really have a science answer at the end. It's an alien answer that like, yeah, science fiction is cool, but when it grounds itself on building stuff and like trying to give you all the components and like trying to make you think it's like going for something like really teaching you while you're reading, just to throw aliens at the end just kind of upsetted me. It kind of made me a little disappointed. I don't know. Like, I just kind of wanted a little bit more. It just kind of felt like meaningless and kind of like empty. Because like, yeah, I thought the American nation, like when they were fighting that is probably, I would say, peak of the series is when it's been a fat minute since I read, but the guy with the long nails that looks like him and like the head American scientist versus our main boy was really cool. Really cool. That was probably my favorite part of the series. I do think that they kind of gave Muscle Boy, I'm not remembering names today, I think they kind of gave him the short end of the stick. They kind of made him kind of useless, but he did have his, no, not useless, don't let me say useless, because like he's done a lot of insane shit, but it just, I felt like he was going to be part of like the main fighting force, but then he just got knocked down. He just got like knocked down heavy. That the villains from before are more of the combat experience, and he's just the muscle brain that does all the big lifting kind of thing. And yeah, I enjoyed it, but I was really hoping it would be like a combo pair of them doing it all together. I understand. I do understand, and I do still think it's a great series, and I absolutely do love it. I just think it has a lot of flaws that it doesn't beat a lot of other series for me. Like One Piece is still ongoing, so I can't even say that the ending, but like I think that they just did an ass pull, and it just didn't really sit well with me. Maybe he just didn't really want to end it, and maybe this was planned all along. I don't fucking know. But anyways, that was all. I hope you guys have a great day. I know my chair is gross and ugly. I will be hopefully getting a new one soon. Maybe. We'll see. Anyways, I hope you guys all have a wonderful rest of your day. This has been Snake, and I have been talking. All right, peace out.